In Africa, there are currently over 52 million orphaned children, and South Africa alone accounts for 2.9 million of those orphans. These children are categorized into 3 groups: those who have lost a mother, those who have lost a father, and those who have lost both parents. In Johannesburg, we have the Malaika Foundation, which provides a safe haven for children in need. Here at the grassroots level, this orphanage ensures the safety and well-being of these precious souls.
To start the Malaika Orphanage, it was to build a platform which we can stand on. Not me, as community members, all of us, stand on and let people out there know that we have challenges into our community. Our children need help from us. They need to be educated. They need to be housed. They need to be fed. They need to be loved.
In some African communities, the idea of adopting children from orphanages is un-African.
I can tell you about my community in South Africa and our community around me. As you come in, when they look at you, they think that she's getting money because they're not used to orphanages. In Africa, and I believe you understand that in Africa, when my brother or my sister dies and leaves kids, the relatives takes over. So often, it's a word that comes and is used mostly by, white people, because they have orphans and they've got homes. We grew up not knowing homes, not knowing my mother should be taken to a home when it's old, or my child should be taken by another person when my child dies, but it happens. So it's a very difficult one. It's a very difficult situation.
However, when things are tough, caregivers are like shining lights.
I am glad to be with these children. Hence, I know myself as I grew up as an orphan, me and my late brother. We were brought up by German rule, which it was grateful. When I see these children that they don't have a shoulder to cry on, I feel I'm their shoulder to cry on. I love them to bits, and I know how is it not to have another. When sunset, when the sun goes down, you are not looking forward to see a mom. You think at yourself, you're going to sleep there. When things are hard, times are difficult for you, even if you are small, you know that there's no word I'm going to cry. I have to be strong. I have to keep myself in prayer, know that Allah is with me.
The unfortunate reality is that children become orphans for many heartbreaking reasons.
Well, I would say the overall situation in Africa is anarchy. Anarchy in such a way that we have lost so many kids in Africa, not only through corona, but through diseases and other sicknesses, and mostly because of poverty and of HIV and AIDS. So many children lost their parents, and they all needed support, they all need care, they all need love.
During a transitional period, when a permanent family is not found, the Child Protection Service and Adoption Agency in Johannesburg named Impilo prioritizes providing temporary care as they work on finding permanent adoption services.
So obviously our job is to protect children. So they are placed in care if they cannot be with their parents, if it's not safe for their parent to be with their parents. We would place them in a temporary safe care while we work towards finding a more permanent solution for these children. So while they're in care, they get all the medical, social, physical, developmental care. And then our social workers are working towards finding a solution for each child. They work with the families, they work with the parents, they work with the courts, etc., to make a decision for the future of the child.
Providing temporary care can be a challenging and emotional experience for both the caregiver and the child. The emotional bond between them is unique and special, as their relationship is built on trust, understanding, and a deep sense of empathy.
a tiny baby that was brought by police from Alexandra police station that was found in a dustbin. That child was weighing 1.8 kg. He came into my attention midnight. It was very cold in a winter season. And then the child was shivering. I quickly ran out and grabbed the child from the police and rushed the child and put the child in a warm bath to make him warm, and then try to feed that child and make sure that the child is sucking. Fortunately, the child was sucking very well, and then I had to do skin to skin because the child was so tiny. He was weighing 1.8 kg. To keep that child warm, I had to put him on my skin to do the skin to skin, and then the child survived. And then seeing the child when he was getting adopted, it melts my heart. I was a lot of tears, not tears of sadness, tears of joy that we made it with that child through that far until he get adopted. I was so happy.
What I came across from the majority of my Muslim sisters is they want to adopt. But in adoption, I think it becomes difficult when the child is a little bit bigger because you have to bond with a child. You need a baby to bond with, and then you can bring it up properly.
However, providing for children is financially demanding. These organizations admit that they rely heavily on donations and still face difficulties.
The environment where we are in is not really satisfying to say that we are really satisfied and everything's okay. We would like to see ourselves in a safer environment, in a home, not in a flat. This is a box. We are closing to a box.
The future of African orphanages, I see it would work if everyone got involved. If families, community, business, companies, everyone was involved and coming together and be united, it would be easy to run orphanages, it would be easy to help for orphans, because it wouldn't be only the orphanages, but it would be about the community, about business, about everyone who stays in that place, everyone in that area, everyone in that apartment, then to help.
While financial difficulties can be a barrier, organizations such as the Malaika Orphanage, Leratong Joy for One Foundation, and Impilo in Johannesburg hold on to the hope of finding permanent families for these children.